It's Hobbit Day. This entire channel from the very beginning has been based on Hobbit habits, Hobbit values, a more simple way of life. Good food, good drink, a good pipe. Well, let's sit down today and relax a little bit on Hobbit Day and reflect on what some of these Hobbit values are and why they mean so much to me, and will hopefully be things that will enrich your life as well. Welcome back, Pipers. Hobbiton Piper Kevin here, coming to you from the Arkansas River Valley in America. And today we are going to celebrate Hobbit Day together here for a little bit. This entire channel from the very beginning has been based on Hobbit values, Hobbit habits, things that Hobbits enjoyed that made up their more simple life. It was about good food, and good drink, and good company. Of course, enjoying a good pipe as well. And the majority of this channel is about the good pipe. But there's so many things that I think we can still learn from those fictional creatures in Tolkien's universe, in Tolkien's Middle-earth, to help us learn to slow down and to appreciate some of the more simple things in life. And one of those things is simply enjoying your good food. Hobbits ate at least 6 meals a day, they say. Tolkien described that in his books, and in the movies you could even say 7, because you could say they had breakfast, second breakfast, elevensies, luncheon, afternoon tea, dinner, and supper. But the books say 6. But they loved their food, and they loved to eat, and any excuse they had to enjoy a good meal, even if it was a small one. Hobbits liked that very much. This is one of my newer editions of The Hobbit. And I was reminded of a short passage, something that Thorin Oakenshield said. Well, I won't spoil it for you if you haven't read The Hobbit yet. Hopefully you have. I really encourage you to read The Hobbit. It's an easy read. It's a wonderful book. I definitely think you need to read it if you haven't. I know many of you have seen the movies. You're more of a movie watcher, but you should read The Hobbit. It's a good one to just sit down with this fall and enjoy, or this winter when you can't be outside as much. And I think you'll be glad you did. So there's a passage here where Thorin is talking to Bilbo, and he's reflecting on his own life, but also the life that Bilbo has introduced him to through his character and the things he talks about. And Thorin says this, he says, "If more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world." And isn't that true? We get so caught up in, what's the next thing I'm going to buy? What's the next thing I'm going to do to elevate my status? And I think if we just slowed down and enjoyed some of the more simpler things, inside our heart we'd be more happy. That's my opinion. You may find happiness in other things, but I find that if I simplify, I tend to be happier. That's just me. And I think that was how the Hobbits lived as well. And of course, they didn't have the means to have big mansions or hoarded gold, but even if they did, I think they would come back to the simpler things to find their joy and happiness. So, one of those things, good food. Man, one of the best ways you can celebrate Hobbit Day is to go make a good meal and just really be thankful for the food that you have in front of you. we have so many choices here in America, especially with so many restaurants, and we don't have to farm anymore. Personally, most of us do not, and we just go to the grocery store, get whatever we want whenever we want it. And I think we sometimes take for granted our food and just how thankful we should be. I know how hard my father, who's no longer with us, I know how hard he and his family, when he was growing up, had to work, toil to put food on the table, to have food. You worked to eat. You worked to have enough to eat. It's a different world now. I'm glad that we have progressed to a state where, we're not worried about if we're going to have the next meal. Most of us have been able to develop a life for ourselves where we know we're going to eat that day, but that wasn't always the case. So let's be thankful for our good food and enjoy that good food when we have it in front of us. I thought about another passage in another one of my newer editions, Lord of the Rings. And in this particular passage, there's a great prologue about hobbits called Concerning Hobbits. And one of the passages here says, "Their faces were as a rule good-natured rather than beautiful, broad, bright-eyed, red-cheeked, with mouths apt to laughter and to eating and drinking." Eating that good food, drinking that good ale, or maybe some milk from the cow or some water from the creek, whatever it might be. They enjoyed their good food and their good drink. And laugh they did, and eat and drink often and heartily, being fond of simple jests at all times, and of 6 meals a day when they could get them. Might be some days they couldn't fit all those in, but when they could, they were eating those 6 meals a day. They were hospitable and delighted in parties and in presents, which they gave away freely and eagerly accepted. They liked to give, but they also appreciated when they got to receive. I really feel like hobbits had it figured out in a lot of ways. They really appreciated the simple things, appreciated the joy of giving, and allowed others the joy to give to them. And they enjoyed the receiving as well. And then the thing that we talk about the most here on this channel is enjoying a good pipe. And we've talked a lot about how that enables you to slow down, to think, and to contemplate and meditate. It doesn't have to be something super fancy. I've shown you fancy pipes on this channel, and I've shown you very inexpensive pipes on this channel. But something like this McQueen Ranger, man, if I fill this up and sit with it on Hobbit Day, which I'm going to do, it's just such a relaxing, enjoyable experience every time. A good pipe, good food, good drink, a good pipe. Man, that is the way to enjoy a day, in my opinion. I love the thinking of hobbits. I think about where in Middle Earth, if I was going to live in one place, to me, it would be, is it going to be Rivendell, the beautiful elven city, the beautiful elven refuge, or is it going to be the Shire? And I think there would be days where I would enjoy both very much. But the simple Shire life is pretty special. I try to find ways in my own life here to recreate a bit of that, even if it's just really making sure I'm thankful and appreciative of my food. If it is, you know, appreciating those good drinks, the good pipe, but also being outdoors, because the love of things that grow, the love of nature, that also brings me great joy. Slowing down and appreciating what we're blessed with here on this earth. It's odd, like for me, just looking at, honestly, for real, just looking out at the river or looking out at a green plant, I don't know what it is, but there's something about that. Just, I feel that joy. I feel joy when I see that. The gifts given to us. I feel joy. I think hobbits felt that joy in that fictional world of Tolkien's. I think they appreciated nature. I know they did. And I know that they did not hesitate to get outside. They lived in a hole in the ground, but they liked to be out in nature, tend to their gardens and their flowers, and they had a true love for things that were outside in nature and growing. So to me, Hobbit Day is remembering not just that it's the birthday of Bilbo and Frodo, but to me, Hobbit Day is a remembrance of the importance of potentially working towards a more simple life. At least putting time in your day, in your week, to slow down and appreciate the simple things in life. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get with my wife later. We're going to fix a good meal. We're going to have some good drinks. I'm going to smoke a couple of bowls out of this. And I'm going to be out in nature today as much as I can be. I hope you're able to enjoy your Hobbit Day. Thank you so much to my fellowship of supporters. You can read all about that in the description below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you will. We talk about lots of fun things here. Be sure to see the playlist tab. You're going to see pipe blend reviews. You're going to see pipe stories. You're going to have smoke with me videos where we sit down, relax, talk about a pipe related subject and just enjoy our pipes together. There's how-to lists. There's top lists of favorites of mine. See the playlist tab. Lots of fun, relaxing content there for you that hopefully you'll enjoy. I try to make my videos evergreen, as they say, to where it doesn't matter what year I recorded them. Hopefully you can find some relaxation and enjoyment sitting with me and listening. And so I hope you enjoy your time here, however you choose to do that. So until we talk again, go enjoy some good food, good drink, and a good pipe. Here's some bonus footage for those of you who are still with me. Do any of you know what the last two words of The Hobbit are? I'll give you a second to think about it. You are a very fine person, Mr. Baggins, and I'm very fond of you. But you are only quite a little fellow in a wide world, after all. Thank goodness, said Bilbo, laughing, and handed him the tobacco jar.